groups and bringing attention to some issue, or with donors or foundations. Trying to rebalance that access is how we address equity with the neighborhood groups that we work with. Oh, and one other thing is, I think with those 61 partners that I listed up there or described, I think by interconnecting different partners who do different things, have different kind of conceptions and awareness of diversity and issues of environmental justice, we kind of lift all boats as far as their concerns about equity, because they, hopefully all of our partners are thinking in ways that Dirt Corp, for example, exemplifies in the way that they work in communities.
So I think that as the county, we're kind of in this unique role where we are doing both on the ground work, but also systems change level work. So we're working in multiple scales, and in a lot of our work around Million Trees is very much at this high level, like how are we supporting the organizations that are on the ground, and how are we making sure that policies and rules about permitting are supporting that work. So part of it is us evaluating all of the structures that we put in place, and is this a barrier to us being able to do this work equitably? The county's Equity and Social Justice Strategic Plan came out in 2016, and there is an environment and climate chapter. And so since then, really across multiple departments, folks are looking at their policies, their procedures, their project timelines, and how are we integrating equity and social justice into that. So part of, for this project, for Million Trees, they did an analysis mapping out using our LiDAR data, using other things we know about socioeconomics, and putting that out and being like, where are folks going to be the most vulnerable? Because we know trees have benefits for health. We know they have benefits for climate. We know they have all these other benefits, whether it's for stormwater or stress or mental health, right? There's so many different aspects. And we know that there are certain communities that are disproportionately bearing the burden of those things. But mapping isn't enough, right? That doesn't tell the whole story. And so, but part of that is now we have a decision-making tool, at least, where our departments and our divisions and our staff and our partners are thinking about this. And then that being able to couple that with the on-the-ground work of making sure that we are trying to translate things, and we're trying to support organizations that might be better on the ground than we are. If they already have those relationships in those communities, then really we just need to be providing resources for them to continue to do the amazing work they're doing. So we've been thinking a lot about how to integrate this and how does that work, and how do we do it in such a way that we are reaching all communities.
All right, thanks. So we're going to open it up, and Courtney has the mic. So if there's questions.
Hi friends, I'm Michael Oxman. I'm remembering a dedication ceremony at our Arbor Day event that was put on by the Minnesota tribe, and they had everybody stand up, turn around, face all four directions, and the moderator or the elder described what happens at the four compass points of north, east, south, and west, and the parts of human culture that are appreciated, that are represented in that tribe's mythology. So I just want to encourage everybody here to be welcoming, eliminate barriers, and to recognize the culture. And the culture also involves a festive attitude. Cass Turnbull commonly wore funny hats. We need to be humorous at these events. We need to have old people at these events. We need to have the child care. We need to have the food. We need to have everything that represents our town. And even today at this event, there's like one or two slips where somebody said something, oh, something fell, and everybody laughed. We need to laugh. So hopefully at these tree planting ceremonies or work parties, it's not just going to be us out there getting full of blackberry thorns, but we're going to have fun. So thank you.
Just to comment on that, two examples of that. in a design process, which is what these, public meetings are what they're usually called during the design process, right? 3 public meetings, and you have a design, and yada, yada, yada. Down in Rainier Beach, they call them, they're like, we're not calling them public meetings, they're design parties. And they actually are, they have a local hip hop artist comes out and does an opening. They were at the Somali Community Center, and so they had a Somali dance troupe come and dance to open, and periodically through the whole point, through the whole meeting. And so they were much more engaging for that reason. So yes, it's absolutely critical that these things are not seen as painful duties. Also with the Littlebrook Youth Corps, the students get, or the Youth Corps get a $700 stipend for 40 hours of work distributed across the year during the cleanup and planting and all that. But they also get a couple $100 in durable gear that they walk out of the program with. So, when I was growing up poor and wanting to do work in the field, and as a field ecologist in the Appalachian Mountains in Virginia, where it just rains every day in the afternoon, and you're just hot, sweaty, and miserable, I didn't think about the fact that I was wearing horrible boots, that I had like athlete's feet all, summer long, that I was miserable, and we need to remove those kinds of barriers that we don't think about, because you're out there traipsing around in your high-tech gear and working with folks who are working in these horrible conditions. So anything we can do to remove those kinds of barriers as well, and remove that barrier to actually having fun in the outdoors, because you need to have some insane level of endurance of these kind of things to just get past that to actually enjoy it. That shouldn't be the case. So thank you for your comment.
Hi, my name is Carolyn, and I'm wondering, well, first of all, I want to say I'm really excited to hear about all the community work and all the trees that are getting planted. I wonder, is there a component to this to also help the people in these areas to save the trees that are already there?
Tree ordinances are hot topics, and I know that Seattle's reviewing theirs. Other cities that I've worked with are working on their tree ordinances. I don't think that's something that we have, from our viewpoint of planting more trees, done any work with. We did do a project recently. It was a carbon credit program where we planted trees as a mitigation for carbon offsets. That's one thing that we can do is plant more trees. But as in terms of removing trees, oh gosh, I don't want to go near that.
Good answer.
I think same thing, I'm not gonna go near that one, but I will say that that we are not counting replacement trees as part of million trees. We recognize that this is supposed to be in addition to our tree canopy coverage, and so we made that very clear that this is not supposed to be like cut one, put one, yay, counted one, right? And the survivability of those trees has also been something that's really important to us. So making sure that we're not just planting a tree to plant a tree, that we are trying to work with our partners. The city of Seattle has some really great resources and materials that we're trying to share with other partners and cities that can use that, who might not have the the resources to produce their own materials. And so we're trying to address things